Let's start as usual by thinking about our posture. Feet hip width apart, weight evenly between the feet. Think of pulling the belly button back against the spine. You've got a neutral spine, pelvis in neutral, shoulders up, back and down, fingertips in line with the seam of your trousers. And we're going to start with a little bit of shoulder mobility. So with the right arm, I want you to just rotate the arm forward and back. So we're just getting a little figure of 8 movement to open up through that shoulder. Think about keeping that posture as still as possible. We're trying to avoid moving the rib cage at all, so we're just moving the arm in a figure of 8 motion. Let's change side. And slow it down a little bit. Let's add both arms together. Taking it forward and opening it out. In and out. And just as big as that is comfortable for you. Watch that you're not rounding forward. It really is just a movement within the arms. Okay, I'm going to take the arms a little bit higher now. Little fingers forward, thumbs back. And again, just as far as you're comfortable opening up, watch that you're not lifting the rib cage. So this is correct, this isn't. So it's not about arching and opening up across the back. We're really just concentrating on a little bit of a stretch across the chest, stretch across the back, but mobility in the shoulders. And we're also getting some mobility in the wrists and the elbows because we're coming forward and back. Well done, and release. I'm going to now get us to move with the breath. In Pilates, we generally breathe out on effort. So with this movement, the hardest movement is lifting. Not very difficult. You're going to breathe out as you lift, in as you come down. Moving with your breath, so you're not going to be in time with me. You're going to lift the arm as high as is comfortable without everything coming up. So it's just a movement from the shoulder. The ribs stay still, you're not letting the ribs lift. Some of you are going to get that arm all the way up, others are only going to go part way. Just go with where you can go, try and get it a little bit further each time. So you're engaging the core, pulling up the pelvic floor, breathing out as you lift the hand up, in as you come down, breathing out, and in. We try to always get an even number on each side of the body, so we're trying to keep everything balanced. So always breathing out on effort, engaging the core, pulling up the pelvic floor where you can. The most important thing with the more intense moves is that you keep that breathing going. Your body needs oxygen, and I don't want you falling over either. So do remember to keep breathing. Anytime the breath doesn't feel comfortable, just go with what feels good for you. We're going to go down to the floor now. Now, anyone who struggles to get down on the floor, if you want to get down there while you're waiting, while we're doing this, you can get down on the floor and then get a little bit of shoulder. This is your wrists, our wrist mobility going. And I'm actually moving from my elbows as well. I want to get everything moving and warmed up before we go down. And we're going to do a Pilates roll down for those of you still standing. Chin to chest, one vertebrae at a time as you roll down to the floor, and you're going to come down to seating, sitting even. So when you come down, gracefully I hope, you're going to sit with your feet flat on the floor, knees bent, hip width apart. And I want you to be really aware throughout this workout that you're not allowing your knees to go from side to side or flop in or flop out. We're trying to be even. The distance between your feet and your body is going to be whatever's most comfortable for you. Okay, so we're working the hands. Now this is where you might want to grab your towel or rolled up blanket to put under your wrists if they're tight, but I'm going to give you options if you haven't got that. I want your hands pointing, fingertips pointing towards your feet, so pointing forward. We're going to be working the triceps, which are the back of the arms. So ideal position is hands pointing inwards, and we want to try and keep the elbows pointing back rather than out to the side. Now some options here. You can put your hands on the towel, which takes a little bit of pressure off. You can roll the fingers under and come onto your fists. You could have come up on your fingers, but that's actually harder. Okay, so that's the hand position. I'm going to keep mine in the harder position. I've got fairly mobile wrists. And the easiest version of this workout exercise is to take the arms back and back up. Elbows down, not all the way to the floor, just as far as I'll comfortably go. I'm going to move that out the way so that you can see a little bit better. So the arms aren't coming out to the side, they're going straight back. Fingertips are pointing towards the body. Now, all the way through this, if it gets to be too much, have a rest, shake it out and join back in. I'm going to move on to a slightly harder exercise. If you find that the next version or the version after too hard, come back to this as a rest. Okay, from there, hands still pointing inwards. If you can, I want you to take the bottom off the ground and just hold it in that position. Okay, from there, you're going to take one leg out straight and bring it back in. We're going to take the other leg out straight and bring it back in. You can keep going, or you can take the hands, the bottom back down to the floor. If you're sitting here in this position, I want you to take the arm back as you take the leg away. So this is your slightly easier version. And again, you don't have to go down as low as me. It doesn't matter if you're only here. From here, you can also have that little dip to make it a little bit harder. But whichever version you do, you work with what's comfortable for you. Now, as you're doing this, you want to really watch that those hips are also stable. So if your hips are rocking from side to side, go back to the easy version. Okay, give it a bit of a shake out. It's quite intense on the arms there. Going to give it a little bit of a break on the strength work. I want you to sit comfortably. If you need to, if you're more comfortable, sit on your block, towel, blanket. You can sit, you can come up to kneeling, or you can sit cross-legged. I'm going to sit cross-legged. I want you to take your arms, in fact I'm not, I'm going to come up onto my knees because you need to be able to see what I'm doing. Stay facing me. You're going to take your arms up into a V shape. Now, watch that you're not arching your back, your upper back. I want you to be in a neutral position. So some of you, your arms are going to be here. You're going to pull them back as far as they comfortably will without anything else moving. So it really is just the arms moving to this position. I can come to here, doesn't matter if you can't. And you're then going to pull down into a W. And pull those shoulder blades back. I call this a VW. You're squeezing the shoulder blades together. Quite an intense workout. I really find this one quite hard work. Up, releasing back, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Lovely. And for this one, I tend to breathe out as I pull the arms down. We're closing in on the ribs, and it's also the hardest work for the shoulders. As you take the arms up, watch that you're not scrunching up. Try and keep those shoulders relaxed at the top, pulling in. And so don't worry if your arms are here and you're still feeling that, that's fine. Give it a little bit of a swing out. If you're here, if you're seated low, if you're sitting on your feet or cross-legged, just letting those shoulder blades relax. And I'm going to get you to come onto all fours. Now again, you might want the towel, blanket or fitness block under your hands if your wrists are tight, or you can come onto your fists. I tend to do this one on my fists, but again, this time your fingertips are pointing forward. If you need to fold them up, make sure that your forearms are coming back towards the body and the top of your arms are away from you. Knees directly under the hips, hands directly underneath the shoulders, and we're just going to come down as far as you comfortably can, taking the nose towards the floor. So it doesn't matter how far you go. If you need to adjust back a little bit, please do. If you're finding that really easy, you could come back into a 3/4 push-up, so you can take it to here and take that down. But But as most of my workouts are aimed at older or less fit people, I'm going to assume that most of you are going to want to come from this position. So you're feeling that in the arms. Now, we're trying to take the elbows back towards the body rather than out to the side. Let's stretch back a moment. Just feel a little bit of a stretch. I'm not stretching all the way back into child's pose because I want to do a few more. Release the wrists if you need to. Taking the hands to the width of your mat this time. And exactly the same. Taking it down. Now this time I'm allowing my elbows to go out to the side. And watch here that you don't arch your back. So keep the head in alignment, abs engaged, pelvic floor engaged, breathing out as you go down, in as you come up, out as you go down, in as you come up. Looking between your hands, heads in alignment, try and keep that neck relaxed. One more if you can. Let's stretch back, reaching those arms forward. If you need to take the legs wide to take your chest in between, that's fine too. I'm interested in getting a stretch across the upper back. So taking the forehead down to the mat, reach the fingers forward and stretch through the upper back. So walk those fingers slightly further forward. Again, if that one's uncomfortable on your knees, you can stick your towel under your knees and come up a little bit higher. I'm more interested in getting the stretch in the upper back there than actually getting down into child's pose position. Okay, we've got one more exercise, which is more about mobility in the rib cage. You can stand for this exercise. You can sit, you can kneel. I'm going to come up to a kneeling position and I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. And all we're going to do is a bow and arrow. So both hands are pointing forward and then I'm going to pull back and open out. I'm trying to keep the hips pointing forward. They probably will move slightly, but we're aiming to keep the hips pointing forward and the movement is coming in the rib cage this time. So although this really is a mobility exercise for the ribs, it is also working the tops of the shoulders here as we do that movement. Okay, again, I need you to be comfortable, so it doesn't matter whether you're sitting or standing. I'm going to come up to standing. I want you to take your right hand onto your left shoulder and let it slide. Now you can push here, trying to avoid the joint, so push here, or you can hold a straight arm. But the arm should be roughly in line with the shoulder, the hand should be roughly in line with the shoulder. Give that a stretch across. Beautiful. Take it to the other side, left hand, right shoulder. That hand's going to slide as you take it across. Or you can straighten it out, it is your preference. As long as you're feeling that stretch through the shoulder that we worked just now. Okay, and release. Hands, you can clasp the fingers if you want. My preferred version is to take the hands one on top of the other. You're going to pull them away from you as far as they'll go. And then I'm going to bend down so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. I'm doing that and then opening them out, but I want the hands about neck height. And you're going to say pull away and then out with the elbows. And then think about taking your chin over a grapefruit as you take your head forward and stretch through the neck. So it's a lengthening and you're looking down between the hands. Lovely. And release, taking the hands behind without letting the chest thrust forward. Taking the hands behind. Again, you can clasp the fingers if you prefer. I like hands one on top of the other. Taking the elbows back, stretch across the chest, and then lift slightly. So you're getting a lovely stretch across the chest. One more stretch. Right arm goes up. Take it down. So you have a choice here. You can push the arm back. You can grab from the top. Try and avoid the joint again. If you're really flexible, you can clasp behind. Now I struggle a bit with that side, which is where If you are close to doing it, and only if you're close, you could use your strap and hold here. But you need to have some tension. So there's no point being here. I hope you're still holding that stretch. Okay, so that's from there. So most of you are going to be there or here, but watch the rest of your body's comfortable and that you are putting some stretch, feeling that stretch in the back of the tricep, the back of the arm. Change arms. Left arm comes up, drop it down the back, and again, you're going to push. Some of you might be here. You could be doing this. That's absolutely fine. Okay? I've got really flexible arms, at least on this side. And so I'm holding here. And again, watch pulling on the joint, particularly if you've got any pain in your joints. Those of you that can, and this side I can, if you can comfortably, you can do this and get a stretch in both arms. A lot of people aren't going to do that. You can use the band or a yoga strap if you wish. It's your choice. But if you're here, that's what you're going to do. There's no point grabbing hold of your hand if you're in this position. Lovely. Just give it a shoulders a circle. Shake the arms out. Try and release any tension in the arms.